20
Probably
different
around,
plants.
yeah, exactly. We're talking about a thing that people don't use a lot. Ferns, you know, as ground cover.
True, right.
You know, they use Florida fern, but that's really evasive. You know, some of the native ferns, you know, get that nice serenic look as this autumn fern. You can really look at this plant. It's a great plant. It's one of the best ferns, I think, that you can plant in your landscape. The only thing is it's somewhat deciduous. If you have a really cold winter, it's going to go down. One of the great things about this plant is it has this burgundy leaf. In the spring, or kind of a red leaf, autumn brilliance, that's where it's named, but it springs up in that beautiful color in the spring, and it gets around 2 feet, 3 feet into tall and about 3 feet in diameter. But it's a great way to use fern in your landscape. If you've got a shade area and you don't want that hard look that jasmine has, fern is a great thing. You know, it doesn't take a lot of fertilizer to grow. You know, some have dry conditions. You know, here's another one that's does in a great rock garden. It's a maiden fern. It's just, very delicate looking, has this black stems to it, but it can grow in a rock garden, takes it dry, and it's cold tolerant. So, that's a great way to have a beautiful ground cover, make it a little softer than Asiatic jasmine. Here's another one that's deciduous, has that gray kind of color, but the stems are kind of a reddish burgundy color. This is a Japanese fern. This is called the ghost, but it has that silvery look to it. Very interesting, planted in mass. Ferns need to be planted in mass to really have that impact. Oftentimes I see maybe one, but it does much better in a mass planting. Some of the things that you can do to just really bring out the color. Here's a mundo grass, which is black. It has that kind of grayish black color, and then you put these two together. You're exactly contrast without the flowers. So you're reducing your maintenance. Here's another great fern. I like this one. It's called the Lady in Red. Very delicate looking fern. Has the Lady in Red because it has these red stems on them. You can see that pretty good right there. But it's more of a limey green, getting around 2 to 3 foot tall. Very, very reliable, but needs good shade. With so many oak trees in our neighborhoods, a lot of people are always struggling with grass. This is another alternative. You can have, like I say, combinations. Here's a native plant called Indian Pinks. Flowers, reliable, can take it extremely dry, can take it our extreme wet summers. Has that beautiful red, yellow flower. Here's one that's another great one. It's kind of that blue color, more of a ground cover type fern, but will just grow right out flat on the good, very lacy, soft look.
Iridescent blue to it.
Yeah, it does.
And you can see how it'll just sprawl out across your ground.
And then in a container in the shade.
I'm seeing a trend here where it could probably save you on the mulch too. If you
exactly.
These out.
You don't have to reduce the mulch. Some of the things they like is when you're planting them, you can get some of the sphagnum moss and you make sure it's full of organic matter. Ferns like organic matter. And you can get any of these ferns at Ace Hardware. And then on the fertilizer, ferns normally like it a little bit of acidic, so you make sure you use an acidic.
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand under a tree.
Right, exactly. They like that type of a growing environment. So, if you want to get them really boosted up when you first plant them, give them a little bit of fish emulsion. Oh, yeah. My favorite.
Push the fish emulsion, but it is a powerful ingredient in your garden.
Exactly.
I mean, put this down, you're going to get green all over.
Right. A little bit of mulch in the beginning, you're going to be in great shape.
Right. We'll give this to Jason to drink fish emulsion. But so he's got all the plants here. Sure. You can check him out at larrysgarden.com, or even better yet,